Welcome back to the daily entertainment feed on Fiddler Music, with me as editor Olivia. Today, let's take a look at some breaking entertainment news in the past 24 hours. Thank you for always supporting and accompanying us. Come to the following hot news. King Charles, Prince Harry, Meghan Markle and more royals receive the Queen's coffin in London. Prince Harry reacts to not being allowed to wear military uniform at events honoring Queen Elizabeth. Scout Masterson dead at 48. Jenna Dewan, Hilarie Burton and more stars mourn Publicist's passing. Reynolds doctor discovers Polyp during potentially life-saving colonoscopy. King Charles, Prince Harry, Meghan Markle and more royals receive the Queen's coffin in London. Prince Harry, Meghan Markle, Prince William and more royals received Queen Elizabeth II's coffin in London on September 13. It will stay at Buckingham Palace until her funeral. The coffin of Queen Elizabeth II has arrived in London. On September 13, the late monarch's casket reached Buckingham Palace from St Giles Cathedral in Edinburgh, Scotland. Following a regal send-off and transfer from the hearse to a plane, the coffin was received in London by Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. King Charles, Prince William and Kate Middleton also arrived to Buckingham Palace to pay their respects. Princess Anne, who accompanied the coffin to London from Scotland, shared a statement the final moments she spent with her mother, the Queen. "I was fortunate to share the last 24 hours of my dearest mother's life," she wrote in a statement on September 13. "It has been an honor and a privilege to accompany her on her final journeys." Crowds gathered outside the palace to pay their final respects to Her Majesty before she reaches her ultimate resting place in St George's Chapel at Windsor Castle. The Queen's coffin will stay overnight at Buckingham Palace before it makes its way to the Houses of Parliament, where it will lie in state until the funeral on September 19. Her Majesty passed away at the age of 96 on September 8, just hours after Buckingham Palace issued a statement sharing that doctors were concerned with her health. After her death, the King paid a heartfelt tribute to his late mother, who he watched lead for 70 years as the longest reigning British monarch. "To my darling Mama, as you begin your last great journey to join my dear late Papa, I want simply to say this. Thank you," Charles said in a pre-recorded address September 9, his first as king. "Thank you for your love and devotion to our family and to the family of nations you have served so diligently all these years. May flights of angels sing thee to thy rest." And after Charles was officially proclaimed king in a formal ceremony, he emphasized his commitment to continuing his mother's legacy. "My mother's reign was unequaled in its duration, its dedication and its devotion," he said September 10, per NBC News. "Even as we grieve we give thanks for this most faithful life. I am deeply aware of this great inheritance and of the duties and heavy responsibilities of sovereignty which have now passed to me." Prince Harry reacts to not being allowed to wear military uniform at events honoring Queen Elizabeth. As Prince Harry continued to mourn the loss of Queen Elizabeth II, the Duke of Sussex reacted to a rule that will not permit him to wear his military uniform for any ceremonial events. Prince Harry is hoping to keep the focus on his grandmother. As the United Kingdom and the Commonwealth continues its mourning period following the death of Queen Elizabeth II, some may spot her grandson not wearing his military uniform during upcoming ceremonial events. The Duke of Sussex, however, is more concerned about family than fashion. Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, will wear a mourning suit throughout events honoring his grandmother, his spokesperson said in a statement to E! News. "His decade of military service is not determined by the uniform he wears and we respectfully ask that focus remain on the life and legacy of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II." As a non-working member of the royal family, the 37-year-old will not be permitted to wear the garments at any of the 5 traditional events leading up to the late monarch's funeral, including the final vigil which will take place in Westminster Hall. In comparison, Harry's uncle Prince Andrew, who is also a non-working member of the royal family, has been granted permission to wear his military uniform, but only at the final vigil. According to NBC News, a spokesperson for King Charles III said that the Duke of York, 62, will be allowed to wear his uniform as a special mark of respect for the Queen at the final vigil, although he was stripped of his military titles in January. Harry spent 10 years in the army, rising to the rank of captain and undertaking 2 tours in Afghanistan. The dad to Archie, 3, and 15-month-old Lilibet continues to work with fellow servicemen, sponsoring support for wounded women and men as they adjust to life post-injury. In early 2020, Harry and his wife Meghan Markle stepped down as senior royals, in a move to become financially independent and raise their kids in both the UK and North America. On September 12, Harry penned a tribute to his granny, and celebrated her commitment to service and duty. Granny, while this final parting brings us great sadness, I am forever grateful for all of our first meetings. From my earliest childhood memories with you, to meeting you for the first time as my commander-in-chief, to the first moment you met my darling wife and hugged your beloved great-grandchildren, Harry said. I cherish these times shared with you, and the many other special moments in between. Scout Masterson dead at 48. Jenna Dewan, Hilarie Burton and more stars mourn Publicist's passing. Hollywood is mourning the loss of Publicist Scout Masterson, who died on September 11 at the age of 48. See touching tributes penned to the late casting director. Hollywood peers and friends are honoring Scout Masterson's legacy. The Publicist's husband Bill Horn confirmed the tragic news on September 12 that Scout had passed away at the age of 48. Following his death on September 11, Tiffany Thyssen shared an emotional tribute dedicated to her friend. This family needs lots of love right now, she wrote in a September 12 Instagram post. My dear friend Scout left this world way too soon and we are utterly heartbroken. She continued, it's hard for me to express how I am feeling because I'm not sure I can fully comprehend that he is gone. He was one of those people that always made you feel special and feel loved. And boy did he love big. His heart was the biggest. There's nothing he wouldn't do for anyone. In her message, Tiffany also requested that people send their love to Bill and Scout's mother Nana and his children Simone and Boz, who she noted are crushed and hurting and need so much support and love right now. In response to her post, other celebrities also expressed their condolences. One Tree Hill alum Hilarie Burton wrote, "Oh no. Tiffany, I'm so sorry. Sending love to you and your family and Bill and the kids." Jenna Dewan also shared her love for the family, adding, "My heart is just broken for you. All our family is here for you in any way you need." Denise Richards commented, "I am beyond heartbroken, the girls are too. We love you guys so much. I'm still in shock and will be for a long time. We love you. I'll tell you the rest privately." Tori Spelling, who also penned her own tribute on her Instagram page on September 12, added, "We love you all so much. A one-of-a-kind. Who always put everyone before himself. Selfless human. Amazing dad, husband, son, friend, fur dad, and gunkle. We will all forever miss you. Hugs. XOXO." Ryan Reynolds' doctor discovers polyp during potentially life-saving colonoscopy. Ryan Reynolds' first colonoscopy revealed that the actor had a subtle polyp on his colon. Learn about the medical process that Ryan filmed to spread awareness. Ryan Reynolds is turning his medical scare into an educational moment. The Free Guy actor recently underwent his first colonoscopy and learned he had a polyp on his colon. Ryan's doctor revealed the results of the process, as seen in a video the 45-year-old shared on Instagram on September 13. "You did such a good prep that I was able to find an extremely subtle polyp that was on the right side of your colon," Dr. Lepouk told Ryan. "This was potentially life-saving for you. I'm not kidding. I'm not being overly dramatic." The operation is not one that Ryan takes lightly, and he filmed the experience to share with the world. As for what pushed him to put the process on camera, it all started with a bet. Ryan, who is the co-chairman of Welsh football team Wrexham AFC, made a wager with fellow co-chairman Rob McElhenney that if Rob could learn some of the language Welsh, Ryan would have to film a video getting a colonoscopy. Well, Ryan lost the bet, but he won critical information on his health. In the lead from behind launch video, Ryan took viewers with him for the procedure, showing the moments right before and after. As for how he felt about putting this milestone on camera, he teased, "We're king filming it," which is also just like awful. Now, undergoing any medical procedure might be tough, not to mention putting it on camera. "I've been on camera a lot. But this was the first time one was shoved up my ass," Ryan noted. The procedure and prep were painless, but the discomfort of filming and sharing the process was the hardest part. But despite that discomfort, Ryan and Rob both broadcasted their colonoscopy visits for a greater purpose. Ryan shared, "We want this potentially life-saving procedure to be less mysterious and stigmatized." And those are also the most outstanding news that closes the Today morning. Thank you to everyone for listening and following Fiddler Music Daily News. If you find the video interesting and useful, please click like and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of the latest entertainment as well as celebrity news.